Okay, Allahabad Bank management is with us, so meanwhile we can talk to them as well. We have MD and CEO of Allahabad Bank with us. Sir, can you just start by saying that what essentially are essentially happening in terms of lending, the sort of news flow that came in of upfronting of the PSU capital or capital to PSU banks. How important do you think that step is for a pickup in credit growth?
Right. Good afternoon. The Q1 has been good for Allahabad Bank. If you have seen, we have booked a profit of 128 crores ended 30th June, and the credit growth also has shown 9%, 8.75% for the domestic credit growth. Though in the outstandings, when we have declared the results, it may appear to be a muted growth because we have a branch in Hong Kong which we have shut down. So the entire outstanding of credit in Hong Kong we have sold to the other banks. As a result, the outstanding for a global business appears to be muted, but in reality the credit growth has been around 9% for the domestic credit. So we are expecting that during the current financial year, that is 19-20, the credit growth would be around 9%. The major areas what we have seen is the credit has grown in NBFC segments, credit has grown in government guaranteed accounts, because we are also very conscious of controlling the credit within the risk weighted assets which are applicable to us. Though our bank is out of PCA, we are treading very cautiously because the year 19-20 is very important for us to consolidate properly, whereupon we have to show results positively on during every quarter. Then the 2021 would be much better for us. Now, with respect to the capital infusion from Government of India, it is a very good move to front end the capital of 70,000 crores which the Finance Minister has declared. It would give an advantage for the banking space, public sector banking space in the country, to lend anything between 4 to 5 lakh crore, even if we consider certain amount of the capital would be allocated for the provisioning and other related requirements. So it is a credit positive. The only question is the demand. We'll have to see in the market as to which sectors are providing the demand, whether it is the infrastructure segment or otherwise. Otherwise, the lendability capability at the bank's level, PSB level, I don't think any issue is there in the days to come.
Your bank has recently launched the repo-linked loans. There seemed to be a bit of mixed opinion on this. How do you think this will impact your asset liability issue? How do you think this will impact your margins going ahead?
Right. No, I don't think it will impact any asset liability issue. The reason is that what we have declared is a repo linkage. In terms of the loan products, it is covering housing loans up to 75 lakhs. And in case of Mudra, all the three categories issue Tarun and Kishore on the asset side. On the liability side also, we have declared that the savings balances above 40 lakhs, the interest rate will be linked to repo. Thereby, we have balanced the position on the assets and liability side in terms of the impact on the NIM. Going forward, we'll have to wait and see how this is going to shape up and how we are going to cover in all other loan segments. The mixed reaction is mainly because repo rate is not going to define the lending rates in the banking space. As you are aware, it is the cost of deposit which is going to create an impact. So unless we are able to control cost of deposit in a manner which can reflect itself on the lending rates. However, cost of deposits are not solely dependent on repo rate. Even though repo rate can create an atmosphere in the market to create a pressure to reduce the interest rates on deposits, it doesn't have a direct impact. This is the reason why there is a mixed reaction. Second, more and more impetus to give on repo based lending to cover entire asset base in the days to come probably will be having an impact on the NIMs of the banks. So we'll have to study properly. The objective of the government is that at least the small borrower should get a benefit of rate transmission whenever the Reserve Bank of India declares the repo rate reduction. That we are, all the bankers are trying to take care. To start with, Allahabad Bank also has announced effective from 1st of September for all the new housing loans up to 75 lakhs and all the Mudra loans. With respect to liability linkage, it is effective from 1st of October.
Right. Can you also just talk to us about any fundraising plan and how you plan to proceed with the QIP? Will it purely be growth capital, or will you be using it for creating extra provisioning?
Right. If you look at the provisioning coverage ratio for Allahabad Bank at the end of June 2019, it stood at almost 79%. Similarly, above 50 lakhs advances category, our provision coverage ratio is 86%. Similarly, if you look at the NCLT base of 18,000 crores, all the cases referred to NCLT, our provision coverage ratio is 96%. So with this, we don't have any provision pressure to be provided in the current financial year, except for whatever fresh slippage is there, and the aging provision, which is not a very high amount. It is around 500 to 600 crores during the current financial year. Now coming back to the capital, as of June, if you have seen our results, we have already complied with the regulatory requirement. We are little above the regulatory requirement, which there is a little amount of headroom available for our growth capital. However, in order to ensure that we are going for a 9% credit growth during the current financial year, we have already planned for QIP. With the amount roughly, the amount is yet to be finalized, but it may hover around anything between 800 to 1,200 crores. And this we are going to take up during Q2 itself. That means we would like to plan and complete before 30th of September. Already government has a stake of 92.01% in our capital. As a result, we have not asked the government to provide further capital, though we don't know what would be the situation. However, we are very confident that we can go to the market for QIP and garner around 1,200 crores, anything between 800 to 1,200. That would be sufficient for us to take care of the growth capital, not only up to March 2020, but up to September 2020, so that we can plan again.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time for us. Always good to get perspective from you. That was the management at Allahabad Bank talking about the rates in the system, how they plan.